All right, Pika, you ready? Let's do it. Let's count. 1. What is it? Wait. Start over. Shh. Don't do that. You're gonna make me lose my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. That's 80 plus 3. There's 83 periodical publications available for purchase today on this, our new comic book day. Hello and welcome back. Once again, it is time for the Comics Coffee Table. Thank you so very much. Grab a cuppa, whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today there, pal. Be water, my friend. I got water. Oh, yeah, please. Thank you. Staying hydrated in this late August heat and humidity here. Recorded, pre-recorded, live before a studio audience of my stuffed animals. From our Boston studio. Thank you so much. It's wicked pissa here in Boston. And it's a little wicked humid too. So, I'm feeling like really run down. So, I'll try to be as chipper and have as much pepper as I can. And yes, my usual drinking problem, and I spill stuff. It is New Release Wednesday, and as we love to do on this show, we like to go down the list of new comic books and see what is on the menu for today. Indeed, I will. Oh boy, let's see. Let's get to it and just start rattling off some funny books that are available. What are you gonna get today? Do you have a list? I do. There's going to be a couple of books that I buy today. There's going to be a couple of books that I avoid like no one's business. But there's most definitely 2 that I'm going to pick up. 3. Excuse me. Apparently there's 3 comics that interest me. Maybe 4. We will see what's available at my local funny book bodega when I get there. But let's get to it. Yeah, I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope you're finding everything you want on your shelves. If you're not, think about asking your local comic book shop for a pull list. Put together a checklist. They'll probably just need, an email address, a phone number, and maybe even a credit card number to secure that. I'm not sure. You might want to ask a comic book shop professional, about the ins and outs of that. And but check them with your local comic book shop so you don't miss anything on New Comic Book Day. This is a show. We are a geeky chill stream here on YouTube. We love pop culture. We love comic books. We do cooking videos. We talk a lot about spirituality and gratitude. So if you haven't already, join us. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Ring that bell. Hit that like button. Smash that like button, as we like to say here out on the YouTubes. There are 83 different serialized print publications available for purchase on this fine Wednesday, this New Comic Book Day. New Comic Book Day is traditionally Wednesday, and some comic book companies do release now on Tuesdays, and then they also release their digital copies on Tuesdays as well. And I, for one, I like going to my comic book shop on Wednesday, and I like perusing the shelves. What I do is I get up close, and just see what's there, and then I take a step back. I go to the other side of the store, and I look from it from afar, and usually I always catch something. I know, huh? You can't take me anywhere. I usually find something like, oh, wow, there it is. I was looking for that. And so, yeah, I know there are at least 3 different, print publications that I will be picking up later today, along with probably another short box, because I like to spend my money at the local comic book shop. I'm not buying my supply. I like to get my supplies there as well. I need books. And in addition to books, I need bags, boards, and boxes. The 4 B's of the local comic book shop, your LCS, the mom and pop brick and mortar shop that needs your patronage. And we were big about that here, that it's good to go to your local comic book shop and spend your money there. And also, tell us what you're picking up today. Or maybe even this weekend, too. I'd hate to presume what is your shopping day. Yeah, and I go to this leagueofcomicgeeks.com/comics/new-comics. That is the URL, the Universal Resource Locator. The HTTP, the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTML, Hypertext Markup Language. If it's called coding. Yeah, HTML. All websites have it underneath. It's like the Matrix, but for real. Seriously, I'm not making this up. And we like to talk about comic books here, and we like to show off our comic books. We will do new release reviews as on every Sunday. Sunday is the day for new release reviews. Wednesday is the day to check out the menu. I'm a chef. I'm a professional chef. I like to make beautiful, nutritious, and delicious food, and I like to share some cooking hacks with you, too. I'm also known as the Sultan of Soup, Western Thinking Critical, who I'm blessed to who he has me on his show as often as he can. I'm very blessed and grateful to be on his show. And so you might have come to this show from seeing me over at Wes's. So thank you so much if that is the case. And so I love comic books. I love floppies. I prefer floppies. Floppies it's a derided term. I don't know why, and I think it's cute. But funny books as well. I call them funny books. But the serialized, print magazine of that just I love it. I grew up in a time where we had spinner racks and newsstands, and when I was a child, when I was first able to really understand that my pocket change could translate into getting instead of getting a soda pop and a Hostess cake, I could get a comic book instead. They started at 50 cents. They quickly went up to 60, where they stayed with Marvel for a while. DC was at 75 around that time, 75 cents. So between 60 and 75 cents, I always had that in my pocket. So I was always able to buy a funny book at the local corner store. You would call it a bodega, or you could call it a mini mart, but all the same, that was the old marketplace. The marketplace has changed. Now it's the direct market, the local comic book shop. And I had a few local comic book shops. I'm blessed to have several in my Boston area, to be honest. And I'm very happy to be able to give these shops my patronage, because when they're gone, they're gone. Seriously. They're gonna go. They could be going the way of the record store, or the mall toy store, or just there will always be, I think, a boutique, for because it's a very niche market. So there will always be some kind of boutique comic book shop. But the direct market, as we know it, is changing. The quality in these monthly publications is changing, and it has changed for the worse, for the better. Modern convenience meets better, I'm not convinced that it's better standards or better art or better production, but it is the way it is. We can either take it or leave it. I'm leaving it most of the time now. I've become very, very picky of what I get and on what I'm spending my money and my time, and most critically, my physical space where I can store them. I just don't want to accumulate books that I'm not going to read again. I can't be taking chances at $4.99. 4 of those, that ends up being $20. And $20, we used to joke back in the 90s, that was a yuppie food stamp. That's the case now. It really is. $20 does not go a very long way. But I'm a blue-collar union tradesperson, so I need to be, a bit more responsible with my discretionary income. Yeah, and it's good. That's just being mature, and it's but if you watch the show, my problems with modern comics and with digital assisted art, and how it skips a whole artist and a whole link in the chain that pulls together a good comic book, the inker. And so very few comic books these days go from a penciler to an inker. It goes from digital line art to a digital colorist. But it saves the publisher, and it saves the artists time. And as I was talking with a commercial artist on Twitter, we follow each other, and they said something that really hit home with me. He said that it gave him a lot more time to spend with his family. It gave him the digital revolution gave him something very essential in his life-work balance. And that matters to people, because that's a very human thing. So, when it comes to digital assisted art, we can take it or leave it. You know where I stand on that. And let's get to it. That's the show opener. Thank you, Pika. He writes my material. My executive producer is a Pikachu. Yes. And Drinka. That's my boom mic operator and cameraman. Camera person? What? When did you get all progressive? And also up in the bleachers, we can't see him right now because they just have the cameraman wants to cut him out of the show, and we got another one up there. I'll find him a new spot. PDQ. Let's get him a new spot right now. Let's get you back in the audience, Jay. If you thought those were the cheap seats before, then welcome to obstructed view in the bleachers. The studio audience, the Canadian Bear. Thank you so very much. Pre-recorded, live before a studio audience of my stuffed animals. And I just love to say that, and I think it's cute. So let's get to it. It's for new comics for today, August 30th, 2023. Leading off, we got Moon Knight Annual #1 for 2023. So numbering ain't what it used to be. Moon Knight's definitely had a few more annuals further down the line in history, but this is the Contest of Chaos annual event, which is pretty interesting. Is it good? I'm not sure, but I've been reading it. I've been a friend of the show has been sharing their digital comics with me, so I've been reading a bunch of Marvel comics every week and a bunch of DC comics every week too. So review Sundays have gotten a lot more robust, and so I look forward to those in a way too, because I've been reading comics that I would never be spending time or attention on before, and so I feel like I have a more well-rounded opinion of what's available every Wednesday now more than ever, and it's really cool. So it's Moon Knight versus Teguki. I just, sorry for anyone out there. I don't know this character, and I mean to be butchering his name, but it's Tiger Division, which is like it's the Asian team of, and I believe he's Korean. I'm not sure. Let's look him up. That's what the internet's for. Teguki. I did. Please correct me. I know we have some. We definitely have awesome Asian people in our live chat. So his name's Taiwan. He's from Earth 616, which is the Prime Earth. His current alias is Teguki, and his first appearance was in Taskmaster Volume 3, Number 3, of February 2021. His creator was Jed McKay. And, he's Korean. And this is Tiger Division. And, I don't even know what let's look at Tiger Division. Tiger Division is also premiered in Taskmaster Volume 3, Number 3. And there was the government-sanctioned superhero response team of South Korea. And that's cool. Wicked cool. It's like J-pop, or K-pop, but with superheroes. Maybe. I'm not sure. But it's Moon Knight versus Teguki. Forces of chaos compel Earth's heroes to go head to head with each other. That's been the theme. We saw that, last week with Johnny Storm and Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze. The week before that with we had who was it? It was Iron Man versus Storm. The week before that, it was Wolverine versus Spider-Man, and Agatha Harkness is involved, and she's younger now too. And but maybe it's like a glamour. If you read The Witcher, you'd know that Yennefer, she's one of the protagonists of the tale. She's 95 years old, and her legendary beauty is not just it's a deception. It's a glamour, and it's also a weapon against the easily swayed, against the basis feelings of manhood. She's a femme fatale in the classic sense. This is 28 pages for $4.99. And it's written by Jed McKay, and its artist is Kreese Hung Sun Lee, and yeah. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering anyone's names. I don't mean to. Please correct me in the chat or in the comments with a phonetic spelling. You know what I mean? There's Weapons of Vengeance, Part 3. It's Wolverine, issue 26. And Enter the Hellverine, where you have... It looks like the return of Hot Claws. What are Wolverine's Hot Claws? Wolverine's Hot Claws. It's what he had when he came back from the dead. He was dead for a couple of years. And when he came back, he had this thing called Hot Claws. And I can't find I can't find an easy answer. Let's see. To heat his, for a brief time, we're getting this from Game Rant and Night Vision. He's got communication with animals, mental scar tissue, superheated claws. For a brief time, Wolverine gained the ability to heat his adamantium claws via his supercharged healing factor and rage, producing excess energy. This energy transferred directly to the metal claws, causing them to glow red with heat. I don't think this is his hot claws. But it's Ghost Rider Wolverine, Weapons of Vengeance Part 3. It's Logan and Johnny Blaze's battle has taken a serious turn. Enter the Hellverine. Not to be confused with Benverine, who was a dancer and an actor. He was on Zoobilee Zoo, if you wanted to know. If you watched Webster, he was Webster's uncle. Ultimate Invasion number 3 for $5.99, 36 pages with wonderful, beautiful art by penciler Brian Hitch, inker Andrew Curry, and colorist Alex Sinclair. And Kang descends upon the city of tomorrow. The Illuminati must regroup. Iron Man has a heart-to-heart with Tony Stark. Doctor Doom, the Anti-Maker, prepares his own plans to deal with this evil Reed Richards. And the ultimate universe that the Maker thought he had rebuilt frays at the edges as they prepare for cosmic war. It's the return of a version of the Ultimate Universe. And yeah, there's going to be a new Ultimate Universe after this. I believe this is going 4 issues. Yeah, so this will wrap up next month. And I love evil Reed Richards. He's called the Maker. It's he's the Reed Richards of the Ultimate Universe, and he experienced some loss, and he chose selfishness. Here's one that I'll be picking up on paper. It is The Incredible Hulk number 3 by Philip Kennedy Johnson, with really good art by Nick Klein and interesting colors as well. And it's the Hulk at the Age of Monsters. It's definitely written for the trade, but I'm liking it, and I'm liking it enough that I'm spending money on it, and I'm spending some precious space in my long boxes. Actually, my short boxes now. That's the whole thing about buying supplies. The older I get, the heavier that they get, and I weighed myself holding a full long box. These things can weigh up to 50 pounds. So, making these things a little smaller and lighter. And they can get pretty heavy. They can get up to about 35 pounds, I think. But still, yeah, the Incredible Hulk #3. I'm in on this one. I'm buying this one. There's World Tree #5 on Image Comics, $3.99 for 32 pages, written by James Tynion IV. I am not reading this book, and I hear nothing but good things about it. People were, really rave about this one. And but hey, this is the good thing about comic books. They're always new if you haven't gotten to it yet. So I can always go back. You can always, it's the same thing with movies and TV shows. It's always new if you haven't gotten to it yet. Heck, I just caught up on seven seasons of the 70s television show Columbo. And I grew up on this show in a way. Like, it was always in the background. It was, but I had, this was, it was so nostalgic and fun, but it was new to me because I hadn't gotten to it yet. Let's see, we have Superboy the Man of Tomorrow, #5 for $3.99. There's a Riddler Year 1 by #6. It's $4.99 for 32 pages, but it's written, well, it's co-written by Ezra Klein, but the actor Paul Dano. Paul Dano played the Riddler in the Matt Reeves Batman movie that came out with Robert Pattinson as the Batman. And so it's I'm not sure, it's Black Label. So it's not too sure if it's continuity. I don't think so. I think it's the wonderful worlds of multiverse. Indeed, huh? But it's got 3 variant covers. It does. And to wrap up the summer event that's interrupted your Dawn of DC with 7 variant covers is Night Terrors, Night's End, #1. $5.99, 48 pages, written by Joshua Williamson. And it's got a couple of artists, 4 different artists. One of them, Trevor Hairsine, awesome. And Howard Porter, who I'm a big Flash fan. So, just, he's got like, Howard Porter's actually, and he's changed his style a few times too, which I always find that interesting as well. It's the Night Terrors finale, oversized issue. That's it, yeah. And I've read more Night Terrors in the past couple of weeks, and I've actually liked a few. I mean, will there be lasting change? Who knows? They're funny books. There's only so seriously I can take them anymore. Monstrous #7 from Image Comics. There's Star Wars Bounty Hunters #37, written by Ethan Sachs, and this is part of the Dark Droids mini event that's going on on all of those Marvel Star Wars comics. And oh gosh, man, but there is a penciler and an inker, so it's going that far, and I might end up reading it. But there is 7 variant covers. But it's like, the color pink. If you that's purple pink color that we like to derisively call bisexual lighting. It's also meant if you put a purple light bulb, on your porch, it's meant to bring awareness to domestic abuse as well. And it's also a color that's like in all these television advertisements I see, it's just it's everywhere in culture. And I think it's pervasive, and I think it's there on purpose. And I think it's a trend. It comes up, I think it comes from business schools and ad, companies and stuff. I mean, but it's got this pink color on the trade dress. It's Batman, Catwoman, Gotham War, Battle Lines, #1. And it's written by Chip Zdarsky and Teenie Howard, but it's got a penciler in Mike Hawthorne, an inker in Adriano De Benedetto, and it's I always approve of the penciler inker combo. So there's that. All right, and does it show how many? It's going to be a mini event in the Batman stories. In the Batman universe, another war. There was City of Bane, the War of Jokes and Riddles, Failsafe. There's always a war going on in Gotham, and it's I've checked out of Batman in a way too. So I mean, it doesn't. It's all good. Ooh. Why do you do that, Sully? Oh, it's because the PS4 will shut off, and you've probably seen it happen before too. Just like the background, just blanks out. Straighten up, Cylon. 48 pages, $5.99. Teeny Howard actually wrote a really good story that I thought in Night Terrors Harley Quinn #2 last week, which I got my balls busted by the gang. They did. I mean, Jim Werner and Gabe Hernandez, and like I got some eye rolls at Wes's last week on the panel when I was like, "Hey, I like this comic," you know. And hey, if you write a good book, you write a good book. I'm like, I mean, just the proof of the pudding is on the plate, or in this case, it's on the page. And so Chip Zdarsky, who's been writing Batman, Teeny Howard, who's been writing Catwoman, and yeah, the Bat and the Cat go to war for the soul of Gotham or something like that. Indeed. There's Blade #2 for $3.99. There's Death of the Venomverse, which I've been reading. That's $4.99. 36 pages. Cullen Bunn, Dave Michelini writes the backup. And it's all right. And there's Ty Gammy, too, with his Kid Venom. He's the writer-artist, too, which I think that's the best part of the book. And there's a penciler and an inker, Gerardo Sandoval and Victor Olazaba, yeah. And I always approve of that. So there's 3 tales in this book. It's a Carnage without Cletus Cassidy, and he's hopping around the multiverse, and he's killing and absorbing all the venoms that he can to get stronger and stronger. There's Miss Marvel, the New Mutant, #1, $4.99, 36 pages. And it's also co-written by Yaman Villani, who plays Kamala Khan on the TV show and in the upcoming movie, The Marvels. Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan. She died. Yeah, we know, and Amazing Spider-Man 26. I had no problem with that. I had no problem with her death scene, with her sacrifice. She did save the world for Pete's sake. Literally, for Peter's sake, yeah. Peter Parker. And, but with the resurrection protocols with the X-Men, she was revived kind of like a week later. And it's been discovered she's a mutant. And she's also an Inhuman. How does that work? I don't care. It's a funny book. Explain it to me later. But I don't mind her as a character. I guess like there's only so much outrage culture I can take in my own spheres, and some of it I think it's all hooey. So I mean, I just bring her on. I'll read this. Yeah, sure. Why not? What else? What else we have? There's Scorch 21, which is that's a Spawn title, and that goes for $2.99 for 24 pages. Written by Sean Lewis and Stefan Segovia's the artist, and just it's great to see that Todd McFarlane makes a Spawn line at $2.99 to sell comics to hungry comic book fans. See, that's a really good and it's a good indicator of what's real in this industry. Like I saw that the Scooby-Doo Batman book was going for $2.99 as well. DC Comics could be selling their funny books for $2.99. Just a nice base cover, and then from there, go for your cardstock variant covers and stuff like that. But what is the reason why you can't get a comic book for $2.99? Because the proof of the pudding is on this plate, and it's called Image Comics, Todd McFarlane, and his Spawn. We have Deadpool, Batter Blood, #3 for $4.99. This is written, co-written by Chad Bowers, but it's Rob Liefeld. Love Rob Liefeld. I love the cut of his jib. I like how he says stuff. He's not everyone's cup of tea. He's pretty controversial at times, but I like him. He's just the guy. He loves comics. This is fun. And let's see. There's the Cult of Carnage, Misery #4. There's the Action Comics Presents Doomsday Special #1. Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider #4. Marvel Age #1000 for $9.99. $4.99. It's 92 pages. This is Ryan Stegman, Steve McNiven, Dan Slott, J. Michael Straczynski, Jason Aaron, Mark Wade, Rainbow Rowell, and it's a big it's a celebration of the Marvel Age of Comics, and you are invited. You see, and this is also where like it's got 7 variant covers, but there is no Marvel Age 1000. Marvel Age was a preview magazine you got for 35 cents in the 80s. That just had like, you know, it was before, like, you know, previews and Wizard would have your spoilers and your art, and it was Marvel Age, and it was fine. And you got a Fred Hembeck cover occasionally, and it was fun. And there was no way that went to issue 1000. So this is some kind of just there is no Marvel Age 1000. That's just the title. it's bells and whistles. That's fine though. There's The Mandalorian season 2, issue number 3. I should be knee deep in something like that. I'm a huge original Star Wars fan, a huge original Marvel Star Wars fan. I was there for issue number 68, the first Mandalorian story with Fen Shisha, and yeah, I've missed. I don't Disney Plus that. I'm actually anti-Disney Star Wars. I actually call Disney Star Wars safe space. It's not Star Wars. It's safe space. Kathleen Kennedy's safe space. Plot armor for girls. Space day. Yeah, whatever. There's Spider-Man India number 3. I got the first issue. Checked out. Everyone's looking forward to this one. Conan the Barbarian number 2 by Jim Zub on Titan Books. People love this one. I'm not into sword and sorcery, sword and shield kind of stuff, so I'm a sci-fi fan. So yeah, I was never into the Shire. I grew up on the Death Star, so there's that. But I hear a lot of good things about this, and people are loving this. Here is one that I am looking forward to. If you remember on New Release Sunday, I told you I caught up on it. This is the newest issue. It's called Local Man Gold, number 1. And it's for $4.99. It's and it's what it is. It's got a foil cover, and it looks like Deathmate. Deathmate was the 1993 Valiant Image Comics universe-spanning crossover event that had, and they didn't have issue numbers. They had, you know, they had by color. I mean, all I need is Deathmate's black and red to complete my old Deathmate collection. I got the rest of them in the dollar bins at a con earlier this year. So I'm still looking for Deathmate's red and black, and I refuse. And I will wait to find them in the dollar bins, because I know I will. I'm not paying $10 a whack for these comics. You know, I will find them. But the Local Man Gold, this is fun. It's you know, it's Crossjack, and he's time lost, so he meets himself in the future when he's Local Man, you know, back in his hometown. And it just it has the cover that evokes Deathmate. I'm in for this. This is fun. This is a fun comic book. It's one of the best superhero comics you're probably not reading. This was highly advised to me by the gang at Thinking Critical and all my panel mates that are tuned into this, and I'm so glad and grateful that I listened to these people. I really am. And there's Nightmare County. There's Sandman stuff, number 4. No, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter, number 3. I took chances on these, and I'm glad I did. But, you know, hey, I passed on them. But here's one I might get if it's on the shelf. It's DC Comics Nort's Illustrated Swimsuit Edition, number 1. $5.99 for 48 pages, and it's just some cheesy fun. It's got there are some great cheeky Power Girl covers, and I want to get one of these. It's got several writers, several artists, and it's a swimsuit issue. And it's good to see some cheeky, good-natured fun, especially when you have like superhero physiques in the age of body shaming and body positivity and all this yakety schmackety, blah blah woof woof all down the line. It's about bikinis and Speedos for those who like that too. We don't judge here, and actually we accept all kinds of people here. And geez, it's like, actually it's one of the biggest turnoffs in my sphere too. I'm like getting like everything is, people say, oh, that's gay, that's gay, that's gay. And I'm like, wow, you're starting to really, in my humble opinion, you're starting to really prove your opposites on the other side of the aisle right. Because at this point, you sound downright homophobic. There was nothing wrong with gay. Nothing. I have gay friends. I had gay family. I always have. You know, geez. I mean, I'm a little bit tired of that. I mean, like, the well is dry on gay as a pejorative, pretty much. If I'm thinking that, and I know that these people are just trying to keep the spirit of shock jock radio alive, you know, but that was 1990s. That was 30 years ago. I mean, can we come up with something new? Seriously, it's not South Park anymore. You're not Cartman, or maybe you are. But yeah, I'll be getting this one if it's there, and especially if there's a Power Girl variant. As I like Power Girl a lot, I do. Let's see. Let's just go down the line. There's Catwoman Uncovered. You know, yeah, no thanks. I mean, I hate Catwoman's new outfit. She has these exposed like armpit things, and it's just like, she's not dumb. She wants to armor up, because you can get a bullet there or a knife. I mean, that goes right to your heart or your lung. You know, I mean, there's a practicality too. I mean, I hate it when people get like over serious about comic books and about fictions and about, but there's also, it's like, I don't know, that's not a very practical battle suit, in my humble opinion. Thank you very much. There's Mighty Morphin Power Ranger 30th Anniversary Special for $9.99 on Boom Studios. It looks fun. I love Power Rangers. I really do. And like, that's a secret, you know, I was maybe a bit too old for Power Rangers. I was like in my early 20s when that, you know, when that came out. But I loved I loved it. I loved it, you know. And, the Plot Holes #1. That's Sean Gordon Murphy's. You know, he did this on a Kickstarter, and he wrote it and he did the art for it. So it's good to see this coming out. It's $3.99 for 32 pages. So it's good to see this coming out in the direct market. I approve. Let's see. And there's one more in here. I know there's one more. Hunt, Kill, Repeat #6. It's the final issue of this, and I'm hoping there's a season 2 in there somewhere. The end of the arc, after what was a brutal and bloody family feud, Artemis prepares for her assault on Olympus with revenge on her mind. This Hunt, Kill, Repeat is like Greek mythology meets Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill. Seriously, I love Greek mythology. I love this comic book. This is great, and I hope that there is more coming from this. I'm going to bug Mad Cave Studios with, give me a reason to buy your comic book. Please, make more of this, if you can. I'm looking forward to that. Hunt, Kill, Repeat. That was a good story. Let's see, anything else on the menu today? As always, as we say, there is a $9.99 Archie comic book, 192 pages. Archie Jumbo Comics Digest number 343. I never see these Archie comics anywhere, especially where they should be, at the cash register at the supermarket. That's where they used to be. Anything else out there this week that I want to buy? Let's see. No, that's about it. Well, it says here too, The Ghosts of Matacumba Key by my buddy Graham Nolan, who I love and adore, who wrote and did the great art on this too, from Compass Comics. It's $25 and 72 pages. Like I said, that's the going rate for one of these crowdfunded books. They're about $25, but it's here, and the solicits. So maybe it's going to be available at the direct market, and I would love to see that. And that's what's on the menu this week on our very own new release day. Happy Wednesday, happy new comic book day. Thank you so much for coming by today. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make content here. We make comic book shop style conversations a couple of times a week. We do pop culture hot takes occasionally. We talk about cooking. I'm a professional chef. I want to turn you on to making nutritious, delicious, and beautiful food at home for you and your loved ones. We also talk about spirituality and blessings and gratitude. I am an ordained minister. I am a spiritual dude, and I think that the answer lies within. and we can unlock that with a little bit paying it forward. And I can share with you my spiritual hacks. I'll be glad to. And thank you so very much for tuning in today. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.